It is not by DNA. It is not by birth order. It is not by favoritism or nepotism. If I did not know that the hand of the Lord was on you, I would never do this.
All this hand over to your son, hand over to your daughter is not ministry. It's not.
You know, I've watched year after year as the murmurs turned into headlines and the whispers into testimonies. The reverence once held for black pastors, especially those from African churches, is being tested, eroded even, by scandal after scandal. And I say this not with glee or judgment, but with a heavy heart, because these aren't just stories tucked away in shadows. These are real lives, real betrayals. Some of the accusations leveled against these leaders. They're heartbreaking. Sexual misconduct, financial impropriety, manipulation in the name of God. How did we get here? How did the pulpit, a place meant to uplift, to inspire, become a podium for power plays and broken trust? And let me be clear, this isn't just about a few individuals straying off path. It's about what those actions mean for every person sitting in the pews, every follower who gave their tithe in faith, every woman or child who stepped into the sanctuary believing they were safe. These aren't just lapses in judgment. They're wounds to the soul of the community. I've seen the eyes of congregants who once cheered for their pastors now filled with doubt. I've read the stories where faith became fear, devotion turned into disillusionment. And it makes me wonder, who's watching the watchers? Where is the accountability in our sacred spaces? Why do we protect the shepherd when the flock is bleeding? This isn't an attack on religion, no. It's a call for reflection, for reckoning, for honesty. We can't keep sweeping it under the carpet of "touch not my anointed" while lives unravel in silence. We must ask better questions, demand better answers. Because if the church won't lead with integrity, then what hope is left? And to those who still believe, to those holding on to faith amidst the rubble, I see you. Now listen, before we go any further, I need you to understand something. What you've just heard, those opening thoughts, they're just the tip of the iceberg. They set the mood, yes. They stir the waters. But truthfully, that's not the heart of this video. Not even close. So I need you to sit tight. Don't scroll away. Don't swipe off. What comes next? That's where the real substance lies. The real message I came here to unpack. But hey, before we dive into that, if today happens to be your very first time on this channel, I need a small favor. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like, drop a comment if you feel moved, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Why? Because when you do, you're not just boosting an algorithm, you're amplifying a message that deserves a wider audience. You're helping this dialogue reach beyond this moment to people who are still searching for clarity in the chaos. Now back to the matter at hand. Just the other day, I stumbled across something heavy, something that made me pause and sit in silence for a minute. It was a video of Bishop David Oyedepo, the founder of Living Faith Church, popularly known as Winners Chapel. And in that clip, he wasn't just preaching. He wasn't just leading a congregation in song and spirit. He was addressing something raw, something real, something disturbing. He was speaking about an issue that has slowly, tragically been tearing down the walls of our churches, not just physically, but spiritually. An issue that has caused deep concern, heartache, and confusion among believers. A breakdown not born from lack of faith, but from the failure of those entrusted with guiding it. Yes, I know. You've probably heard rumors. You've seen the headlines, whispered scandals, broken trusts, disillusioned followers. But when a figure like Bishop Oyedepo speaks on it, it demands our attention. It shakes the silence. It holds up a mirror to all of us, not just the shepherds, but the sheep as well. So before we go any deeper, I want you to see the clip for yourself. Take it in. Let it speak to you. And then, when we come back, we'll walk through it together, line by line, truth by truth.
Define the process of succession. You know, Joshua is not a biological son of Moses. And the sons of Moses never caused any problem. They were very holy sons, but they were not the one chosen by God. Define the process. This thing is not genetical. Define the process. Let the process be well understood. Life is so simple. Define the age limit. Because you need energy to drive.
Yes.
Particularly all these big ministries that are rising.
Yeah.
You need the energy to drive. Energy to drive. Don't get an 80-year-old person to come and drive a trailer. No. He will sleep off. Define the terms of eligibility. So there won't be anything you are running around for. Who are eligible? What must they possess for the eligibility? What is the process for the ultimate emergence? Define it. It's so simple. Not when we're about to die. Baba, who is taking over? There was one Jeremiah. They say he has left. He's in heaven. What of Jacuz? You are doing kalo with people. No. Moses went to the mountain, set a man over this congregation of God. Amen. You can toy with small things like that, but not where you are going. No, not where you are going. You define them in concrete terms. You read it through, and then you vet it. My God. Now, here's a big problem. Many charismatic ministries won't see the next generation. Won't see the next generation except as a change. All this hand over to your son, hand over to your daughter is not ministry. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not ministry. No prayer, no nothing. And no process, only between you and your son. That's not life. Define the process. If God picks that son, it may not be the first, it may not be the second. Maybe it's not the fourth. But it's not a family inheritance. It's not a chieftaincy title in your village's process in the spirit. If the man gets it, it will still be subject to vetting of the body responsible.
You know, listening to that message, it stirred something in me, deep. Not just the words, but the weight behind them. And my mind, it drifted. Not to recent headlines, not to another social media rant, but to something more personal, more pressing. The trend we've been witnessing lately. Across the USA, Europe, Asia, churches being handed over from father to daughter, from one generation to the next. Because for some congregations, this handover hasn't been a moment of legacy. It's been a rupture, a crack that left doubts, confusion, and in extreme cases, complete shutdowns. Communities that once thrived under spiritual guidance suddenly found themselves asking, is this God's will or man's strategy? Then Bishop Oyedepo, in that video, said something that echoed through me. He spoke about the prophets of old, the ones who didn't pass the mantle not based on opinion or emotion, but based on divine direction. Mantles weren't given to favorites or chosen by popular vote. No, they were transferred to those whom God Himself had appointed. It wasn't about comfort or convenience. It was about calling. And that's where the truth hits hardest. We've reached a point where we need to ask ourselves, really ask, are we doing things because it's easy, because it's expected, or because it's what God has truly asked of us? In recent times, We've watched as pastors handed down the mantle to their children, some quietly, some controversially. Joel Osteen inherited Lakewood from his father and took it global. Kenneth Copeland's daughter, Kelly, stepped into major ministry roles. Creflo Dollar's son may follow soon. Andy Stanley carved his own legacy beside his father, Charles. Kim Sam Juan passed his pulpit to his son, sparking debate. Even Bishop T.D. Jakes made the move. And yes, the conversation is only getting louder.
And some will make a career out of trying to kill you, but preach the gospel. Preach it when they like you. Preach it when they hate you. Preach it when you're lonely. Preach it when you're scared to death. Preach it when you don't know what to do or what to say. One day I will be gone, and all you will have is this video. But every time you're backed in a corner, and every time you're shoved to the wall, play this video and hear your father tell you that you are enough. You are enough. Sometimes you won't know what to do. Sometimes you won't know what to say. Sometimes your enemy's voice will seem so much louder than your own, but you are enough. They will hate you and betray you and use you and see you only as an opportunity and forget you are a person and that you are a wife and a mother and a daughter and that you have a life, and they will use you to promote them. But don't forget that you are enough. For every woman who's never been validated by a father, for every woman in this room who has never had a father talk to you like this message is not just to Sarah Jakes Roberts. It's to every woman in this room who longed to hear a daddy say that to her. I want you to reach up and receive this as your word from the Lord. Because as I commission her, so I commission you. This is your hour for greatness. This is your hour for strength. This is your hour to stand in the integrity of who God created you to be. And just because you're a leader doesn't mean you can't be a great wife and a great mother. I respect you so much because you have never gotten so high that you didn't honor your husband. And you have never gotten so high that you didn't feed your kids. And you have never gotten so high that you didn't put your family first. You have never gotten so ambitious that you forgot what God has given you in your family. Because when all the crowd is gone and you're laying in the bed sick and you can't breathe, it will not be the crowd that wipes your head. It will be your children and your husband and the people in your life. And that's why I value you, because you come when I'm sick and you're there when your mother's sick, because we are family and your priorities are right.
And while that might seem noble, even progressive in some eyes, the truth? It's been messy, really messy. Because for some congregations, this handover hasn't been a moment of legacy. It's been a rupture, a crack that left doubts, confusion, and, in extreme cases, complete shutdowns. Communities that once thrived under spiritual guidance suddenly found themselves asking, is this God's will or man's strategy?